Slider is something. A slider in the strike zone is something Justin Hammer-Malloy is going to have to hit at the big league level.
Look at you.
Yep. He's going to get a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Strikes in the off-speed, curveballs, sliders, pitches with movements in the strike zone. That's Justin Henry Malloy's weak spot.
Yeah.
But he's been tearing up the minor leagues. It was time for him to get moved up, time for Tork to get sent down, so they both can work on things in a different environment. We get to see a little bit of the future here with JHM coming up to the major league level. I don't know if he's going to be starting tonight. I don't know where he's going to be playing. Very likely an outfield position at some point this week against the Texas Rangers. But the Tigers, after a 2-2 weekend against the Red Sox, look good on Thursday.
Got whooped Friday and Saturday.
Whooped Friday and Saturday. Literally 2 games that ended up kind of close, but they weren't games at all. Like, it was over after the first inning. And then it was about to happen again. It was as ugly of a start yesterday against the Red Sox, and they got the Red Sox got their best pitching performance out of Bello. They ended up coming back to win 8-4. Baseball's this crazy game. Spencer Torkelson, though, he got benched for 2 of them. The writing's are on the wall. Last 4 games he's played, he's 0-16, I believe.
Oh, my God.
There we go. 0-16, 0 walks, 9 strikeouts in last 4 games.
That's horrible.
Last 10 games, he has been 3 of 37. That's a .081 batting average. 3 walks and 13 Ks. All of that combined with you're not hitting the ball, you're striking out, you're not walking, which means you're all over the place.
Absolutely no sign of improvement.
You're in your head, your mechanics, all of it. What's up?
And to be honest, he's not the best defensively. Like he plays okay defensively, but lately it hasn't been great. So
I believe I have that stat too. He's a -5 in defensive runs saved at first base. So he's not a good defender. It's not like you can keep him up and be patient with him, be more patient with him figuring this out, because he's a special defender. Like he's plus at that position.
When you getting 4 at-bats a pop, you can't go 0 for 4 every time.
You can't.
Let me add a stat in this
Not every
mix.
time.
So Torkelson is hitting .106 on fastballs from right-handed pitchers that are registering at 93 miles per hour or better, compared to the league average of 243.
Jesus.
You just cannot do that and not be able to hit fastballs.
Yeah.
And be a major league hitter. He needs to go down and figure it out.
And we've seen him pop those boys up. We've seen him stare at the damn fastball coming through the zone. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, like to your point, Justin, he could not hit the fastball, and I think that's been probably his biggest weakness the whole time.
Definitely. And whether it's his biggest weakness or not, if it's a weakness, then you're completely exposed. Like, most major league hitters are better hitting the fastball than some of these nasty off-speed pitches that major league pitchers are throwing at him. So when you're supposed to be the 4 hitter, 3, 4, 5 hitter in the middle of the lineup, you're expected to jump all over fastball mistakes. Someone hangs or someone leaves a 93 to 97 mile an hour fastball over the middle of the plate. You need to put the force into that, hit it out or hit it hard every time. That's not happening. When he's swinging through those, when he's popping those up, you just got to start something over mechanically, mentally. He just got to go get in a new environment. Like you talked about Parker Meadows.
Yeah.
The mentality you saw him play, he just looked free out there. He looked comfortable, like he was playing baseball. We need that out of Torkelson.
Yeah.
That's
no
what we've
shaky
seen.
at-bats, no shaky swings, no shaky half. It's just he's just up there. He looks like he's in the zone. And I'm hoping for Spencer Torkelson that I wonder how much the thought of getting benched or the thought of having to go down to the minors played on his mind when he's in those batter's boxes. Whether it's right or wrong, we obviously know we want him to be up there and be free of mind. But the situation is what it is. The season got off to a bad start. It's reminding us more of what he probably was in the past, and a lot less of what we thought he could do in the future. Now I'm hoping that going down to the minors, he's just able to focus on baseball and nothing else. No narratives, no getting sent downs, no getting benched. Just focus on baseball.
Yeah, and shout out to Randall Smalls in the chat. He's cool, people. I don't necessarily agree with this take, though. He said Tork's problem is he has no one hitting behind him, and he's pressing too much. What would you say to that, brother?
It's both. I mean, there's no protection when he's hitting anyway, so pitchers can throw whatever they want. When if you're batting 7th, you got Javi Baez hitting after you, or Jake Rogers, Carson Kelly.
I don't think that's a great excuse, though. Like, he should be hitting just period.
Yeah, it's not the only excuse. It's part of it, but you need to be good enough. Even if you're hitting fifth or sixth, like for those exact reasons, you need to be able to hit the fastball.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if you can't hit a curveball, which you should now.
Right.
You should be able to. But if you're not hitting the fastball and you have no protection, so they're not afraid to go after you instead of pitch around you to then get Javi Baez out, you got 3 guaranteed outs at the end of the batting order. That can't happen.
Yeah, like there's a difference between being slightly below average or having your averages brought down because of what's not behind you. This is not one of those situations. Like with the stat that even Justin just read off, this guy is woefully failing right now.
Yeah.
This is a lot more than just who might be behind him in the pecking order batting-wise.
Yeah. We might be having more conversations this week with the B word involved. Like, first overall pick, is he a bust? Made Tork out there like Nick Cannon. He needed no protection.
I was laughing.
Oh, Mitten May.
Lots of babies.
Perfect.
But Nick Cannon's hilarious.
He's hilarious,
Dad. Let's talk about Justin Henry Malloy. But I know Charles McClain has been asking in the chat, why is it harder to develop hitting than pitching? It takes longer to develop hitting and pitching.
Yeah.
And you need to develop hitting through an organization from someone you drafted to the big leagues. It requires a certain philosophy, a certain approach, continuity from the moment you're drafted. What do you need out of this kid? What are you training him from the time he's in single A to the bigs to be prepared for? He was drafted in the 2020 draft, the COVID draft. So he was a consensus number 1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
I think every team in the big would have selected him, which is why it does point to development. Tigers got him in here. They haven't been able to figure him out. He's had 2 different groups of hitting coaches. This new hitting coach, Michael Bedard, former Michigan Wolverine, go blue, plus his 2 other assistant hitting coaches. They came in 2 years ago, or this is their second full year. So they're putting their own new philosophy throughout the minor leagues, starting with single A. We see Max Clark and we see Kevin McGonigal tear up single A. They're about to get elevated to high A. This is why it takes time. I don't know where the miss was with Tork, where the hole in his development was. He very well could have been brought up too soon. Like Alavila on the hot seat in 2022. We all did it. We're calling for Tork. We got to see Tork up at the major league level. This team blows. Like, might as well. It's everything we're saying now, but a 10 times worse team. And Alavila as a GM. We don't know what he missed in his development. Pitching, while it's not easy to develop it, I'm not taking anything away from what Chris Fetter is doing. Sometimes if you have the stuff, it gets you to the highest level faster. That doesn't mean you're going to be successful. You got to learn how to throw more than 2 pitches. You got to learn how to throw 3 pitches for strikes. You got to learn how to have secondary, tertiary pitch sequences. You can't just throw 100 and have 1 slider. You'll have success till you get to AAA, and then major league hitters will start to adjust to you. But what Justin Henry Malloy has done, acquired by Scott Harris via trade in 2022, in Scott Harris's first offseason on the job, went and plucked him from the Atlanta Braves organization. It was a trade, I think, for Joe Jimenez, relief pitcher through Heat for the Tigers. Went and got Justin Henry Malloy because of his plate discipline, because of his approach. He's elite at drawing walks. He led the entire minor leagues in walks last year in 2023 with, I believe it was 110 walks. Led all minor leagues, while his 23 home runs and 83 RBIs last year led all the mud hens. The one problem with him, he draws walks at such an elite level. Sometimes that passive approach leads to strikeouts. He needs to find a way to mesh some aggression into that patience. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying balance it out, but I totally agree, man. And that's what I was gonna ask you. What can he bring in terms of his game to the big league level? Like you said, he's been very patient. We've seen him do good in spring and things of that nature. Now he's getting the big call up. What do you expect him, or how do you expect him to translate to the MLB level?
I think he can come and bring a spark to this offense. We've seen before rookies have an impact when they first get called up. Now, the key to his career is learning when these pitchers make an adjustment to him, whether that's in a week or two or in a month, or depending on how long Torkelson is down, we don't know that whole plan. The pitchers will adjust to him, but you can come in leading up to the All-Star break and provide a spark to this offense, kind of like Wenzel Perez. And Perez has shown he's starting to make his adjustments to the pitcher's adjustments and finding himself in the middle of the batting order every single game. Not to say that's Justin Henry Malloy's trajectory and they're different players, but with his discipline at the plate, with that approach, even being a little cautious, I think that's okay at the major league level to start off. He'll have to learn how to hit with 2 strikes and put the ball in play. But the question marks with him have never been on the offensive end. So I hope he can come and contribute early. Just provide a spark in the middle of that order. I know it's completely different, but I'm thinking the spark that Quentin Berry made when he got called up. It was late in the season, and I even forget which year, but it wasn't even that he was a good hitter, but when he got on the base paths, he was stealing bases. He was a madman in the outfield. There's just something that can uplift this team. And to me, man, this team's so close.
They are.
Like, they're frustratingly awful some games. Their offense is, like, horrendous some games. But again, they're 4 games out of the wild card. They're 10 games out of the AL Central. But it's not over. And this is the time leading up to the trade deadline, the All-Star break. This is the time we want to see some juice out of this team. We want to know, hey, maybe they'll know in this next month, is Justin Henry Malloy one of those core pieces to build this foundation? Or is he one, whether he's playing good or not, is he one to include in a trade at the deadline? I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet. They're going to get a good look at him. Hopefully it's more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could see, and I feel like someone's asked the question in the chat, I could see them sending Tork down for a month or 2. Is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how long do you think Tork stays down?
I think it could be a month. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Because
I expect him to come back up fairly quickly, especially if he begins to perform at the plate.
And I think a month is fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 months. But you want to see him not only make his adjustments, but get used to that. Make that, get his muscle memory back intact. Get him so he's made the adjustments, he's had success, and then he's had a couple weeks of doing that consistently.
Yeah.
So then when he comes up, he's not, oh man, okay, I'm back to the big league level. They're going to, you're thinking like you used to think. Let him just stay down there, clear his mind, and feel the bat hit the ball. Feel like a basketball player. When you can't shoot, when you're struggling shooting, get to the free throw line. You just want to feel the ball go through the net. The things that does to your mental, incredible.